Great. I think we have a lot of people here already. Is it all right if we get started? Awesome. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Valerie Tang, the Associate Director of COMET, and I, along with Dr. Stephen Lin, our Executive Director, are happy to welcome all of you to our graduation celebration for our COMET class of 2021. We are so grateful to have our graduating fellows here along with friends, family members, faculty mentors, and our incoming fellows. It's safe to say that the past year in this medical scribe fellowship has been unlike any other before it. Due to the pandemic, we started out the fellowship year in virtual settings, having you, our fellows, learn how to provide medical documentation support remotely to our faculty mentors. You had the opportunity to learn about telehealth and all the challenges that came with it. You took it in stride, and now you are amongst the masters of telehealth. Despite the non-traditional clinical setting, which for most of you was in your own homes, we heard and saw for ourselves how you came to be clinically adept, so that in fact, many of you now are writing notes at the level of advanced medical students. In our problem-solving workshop towards the end of this year, we saw how you have learned what symptoms indicate a specific diagnosis or concern that needs to be further evaluated. We can see how over the course of the year, you have contributed as invaluable members of the healthcare team and how you have become better positioned to enter the field as healthcare professionals. I hope you recognize your accomplishments in this way as well. And of course, this year also could not have been what it was without our faculty mentors. Our mentors stepped up in new ways to provide enriching experiences for our fellows. Some dedicated their free time to set up additional gatherings with COMET fellows to review cases and to teach clinical pearls. Some made extra space to meet with our fellows in person, both figuratively and literally due to social distancing policies. Others reviewed applications to health professional schools, provided advice for interviews, and reviewed personal statements. And many of our mentors facilitated research and quality improvement projects, intentionally identifying ways for our fellows to join them in working on them, even when logistics were not as simple given the pandemic's restrictions. I was so impressed by the intricate projects our fellows participated in and presented on at our end of year symposium. A heartfelt thank you to our mentors, without whom this fellowship program would not exist. I'd love to highlight a few of the many accomplishments of our fellows this year. Akansha Varma worked alongside her mentor in cardiology, Dr. Anitra Roth, and presented her research at the first annual single ventricle investigator meeting, where many experts in the field shared their findings. Bryson Gomez partnered with Dr. Ian Nelligan in family medicine in a novel quality improvement project on improving adherence to quarterly bacterial STI testing in MSM on PrEP through self-swabbing. 7 of our graduating scribes, overseen by providers in family medicine, presented their work at the Society of Teachers of Family Medicine annual spring conference. Still more have been accepted to present at the Society of Teachers of Family Medicine Quality Improvement Conference that will occur later this year. Jamie Kalma, Sabrina Sanga, Phoebe Zhang, and Jacob Less worked with their mentors in endocrinology, Dr. Maria Navicina, Dr. Danit Ariel, and Dr. Julia Chang, and presented projects at the Endo Society National Conference. I wish I could highlight everyone. Additionally, we would love to see our fellows take the next step to pursue their career dreams. A number of our fellows are going on to graduate school and health professional school this summer or fall, and we are very excited for them. Bianca is pursuing her master's in public health. Ellie and Carolina are heading to physician assistant school. Marcia will be starting her nurse practitioner program soon, and May is off to medical school.
All of you are incredible fellows, our amazing faculty mentors, and the friends and family who have supported you along the way make up the heart and soul of COMET. It is because of you that the program has grown to what it is today. Let me just share with you a few words about our programmatic achievements this year. Winning the 2021 National Innovative Program Award from STFM is only the beginning. As COMET looks to the future, we are on the verge of creating the first national collaborative of academic scribe programs in partnership with Cleveland Clinic and the University of Massachusetts Medical School. We are also about to surpass 100 graduates in our rapidly growing alumni network, many of whom have already received their MD, DO, PA, NP degrees, and are starting residency programs or already practicing medicine in the real world. Fellows, we are excited to celebrate with you today, both your accomplishments and your future. We are honored to be a part of your journey. We look forward to seeing how all of you in this graduating class will achieve your hopes and dreams. And as we send you off, we also welcome our new fellows in the class of 2022. We have 40 bright new individuals joining us for this coming year, hailing from 6 different states across the US. And let me just tell you, they are extremely talented. In our new class, we have fellows who hold advanced degrees in science and medicine, and fellows who have been a professional dancer, an entrepreneur, an engineer, a member of the Air Force Reserves, a high-ranking martial artist, an accomplished horseback rider, just to name a few. Our incoming fellows have had the opportunity of training with our graduating fellows over the past several weeks, and now they are ready to begin their fellowship. Fellows, we are truly excited to have you join our Stanford Healthcare team as part of the COMET Fellowship. And now we'd like to introduce you to our keynote speaker, Dr. David Liang. Dr. Liang is a nationally recognized specialist in Marfan syndrome and its related conditions. He obtained his medical degree at Stanford University School of Medicine and completed an internal medicine residency, fellowship, and a PhD in electrical engineering, all at Stanford as well. He is beloved by his patients for his evidence-based and humanistic approach to care. Dr. Liang splits his time between Hoag Medical Group in Southern California and Stanford, caring for patients with Marfan syndrome and connective tissue diseases. He is a member of the Professional Advisory Board of the Marfan Foundation. Dr. Liang is an incredible, supportive mentor in the COMET program. We are indebted to him for the rich opportunities, world-class teaching, and the wisdom he imparts on the fellows who are lucky enough to work with him. And today, we are honored to have him as our keynote speaker for the COMET Fellowship class of 2021. So please take yourselves temporarily off mute and join me in giving a very warm round of applause to Dr. David Liang.
I like the whale. Who's got the whale? All right. So thank you very much, Steve, Valerie. It's really a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity, because I first want to start off by thanking you and Valerie for creating such a wonderful program. I think it's been incredibly valuable, hopefully for the scribes and the scribes to come, but certainly from my point of view, I'm very indebted to you and the scribes for really making my clinical experience better. It allows me to spend more time with my patients, and maybe I shouldn't be mean to my medical students, but the scribes have been such a wonderful group of people to work with. They are so eager to learn, and it just makes me feel really good. And so I just try to figure out how, Steve, that you managed to convince them to pay you to do our work for us. But I need you to negotiate my next mortgage for me next time. But anyways, it's a wonderful program, and I want to take this opportunity first off by thanking you, the scribes, and also to welcome the new incoming scribes. I think you're going to have a great experience. I'm hopeful that this will be one of the greatest parts of your medical experience and your medical learning. And welcome to the medical field. There's been a lot of interest in medicine this past year with the COVID, and hopefully, in some ways, good that they understand what the value is. I'm obviously been in this field a long time, and I will tell you that I am so indebted that I wound up here. But anyways, I'm going to give you I'm not that profound a person, so I'm just going to give you a few stories. How's this? Okay. So, and one of the things that people ask was, how did you end up being a doctor, right? And if you look at my history, I started off as an electrical engineer. I thought I was going to be a mathematician when I was in high school, and I think many of you guys have had various different backgrounds. And my father sort of managed to maneuver me to go to medical school. And you know what? I'm so indebted that he did, right? He probably knew me better than I did, right? And we always ask, why is it that you go to medical school? What is it that medical school that makes it so valuable? And then if you think about it, okay, my wife's an engineer, I have many friends who are engineers. That's where I started from. And, and I did a lot of engineering research when I started. But now most of my life is taking care of patients. And what you find is that, it's the most incredible rewarding job you can have. I mean, how many positions do you have where people inherently trust you and, and they want to trust you? And you get the sense of being able to help people every day, many times every day. And so when people ask, okay, well, what is it, what makes you want to be a good doctor, okay? And why should you want to be a doctor, okay? If you find that you feel good after you help somebody, okay, you belong in medicine, because you're going to really appreciate being in medicine when you do that. Because every day, every time you see a person, okay, forget about the reimbursement and all that stuff. Okay? Medicine is getting more and more headaches, okay? But when you see the patient, okay, and you see them smile, you see their relief after you see them, maybe you didn't do anything, but you just talk to them, okay? There's that relief that they achieve, and that's the reward, okay? And every day you get that, and you will, and so, I think you should look forward to that in your class, in your careers, because you've chosen the right career. If that helps you, if that makes you, makes you feel good, you've chosen the right career. If you haven't, well, then I suggest you apply to engineering right now. No, but I'm sure everybody does. That this is what you should ask yourself, and I'm sure everybody's already asked that question about themselves. Okay, what is it that makes you go? Okay, and so if you find that you feel warm after you've helped somebody, then you're in the right place. Okay, so then what else? Okay, then people always ask me, okay, well, how did you get into Marfan syndrome? And I think there's some value in that. Okay, and how did I become quote an expert in Marfan syndrome? Well, when I finished my fellowship, I did a lot of research, because that's what I thought I was going to do, because I had a PhD and all that stuff. But I found I missed taking care of patients. So I wanted to get back into the clinic. And I was walking down the hallway one day, and I ran into the nurse practitioner at that time who ran the Marfan clinic. Her name was Cheryl Gassner, and the director was going back to Harvard. And so he grabbed me in the hallway. She grabbed me in the hallway and said, "You know what, David, I have a proposition for you." And I said, hold on, no, no. She said, no, not that way. I want you to become the director of the Marfan Foundation. I knew her pretty well, right? And about the clinic. And I said, I don't know anything about Marfan syndrome. And she said, don't worry, I'll teach you, right? And I think there's a lesson in that. And so for the first year, every time I saw a patient, I'd run outside and ask her, what do you think? Okay, and I think the lesson that was from there, and is that there are so many people we can learn from in medicine. Okay, not just your professor or your mentors or but all the people that we work with. They all have something to teach us. Cheryl taught me so much about not only about Marfan syndrome, but about caring for patients, because she had Marfan syndrome herself, right? And so by watching her and what she went through in medicine, I learned so much about what it was to be a patient. And she could teach me. She taught me so much about caring and about understanding. And you should do that, okay? Life is, the whole process is a learning process. And you should take to learn from everybody you do, not just your professors, not just your lectures. You learn from people, right? And fortunately, I've been very, very lucky in my career. And anytime in your career, you should strive to work with good people and learn from them, observe them, watch what makes them tick, how it is that they help people, right? I was lucky. I worked with Cheryl. She taught me so much about Marfan syndrome and what it means to have Marfan syndrome, what it means to have to deal with illness every day, right? And then I learned from Craig Miller, because he taught me so much about, cardiac surgery, aortic disease. But I also learned from Sunny Pallone, who was my clinic coordinator for many, many years, okay? She didn't have any medical background. Okay, everybody thought she was a doctor or a nurse when she walked around. They always say, "Oh, your nurse just came by." And I would laugh. All right. In fact, in Epic, she showed up as a nurse. She showed up as RN because she learned so much. But what I learned from her is how to care and how to be with people. I mean, the one thing I learned so much from her is to hug people. Okay. What I learned is that, I never used to hug people. I'd shake hands and stuff like that, slap them on their back. But you know what, I'm glad COVID is sort of coming under control, because I got to hug my first patient last week, okay, after a year. And it feels good, okay, not only for you, but for them, because it breaks barriers and it gets that human contact again. We spend a lot of time, in medicine on computers and such, okay, but the human contact, medicine is still about people. Okay, don't forget that. Okay, that's the key. Okay, forget about guidelines and all this. And we have to deal with those things and stuff, but it's about people. It's about caring. Okay, and that's where you will never be. None of us will ever be replaced by computers. Computers do things well, and we should use them. Okay, machine learning and stuff like that. But you know what? If you care for people, you can establish that contact with people. Okay, then you don't have to worry. Computers can't replace you. Okay, that's something that a computer will never ever be able to do. That person-to-person contact, and what it does, and it's not only good for the patients, it's for you, right? And we've gotten so much control in the process of trying to get people in and out so much that people lose the fact of why it is they became a doctor, right? It's about reaching out to people. It's about caring for people. And so the more you care for people, okay, the more rewards you get, right? Because if they're just okay, you know what? When they get better, you don't feel it, okay? But if you care for them, okay, when they get better, they feel relieved, okay, it feels good, right? And so Sonny and I used to be, every time we got fed up with administration, okay, then we'd say, you know what? Let's go see the patients, right? And every time I got fed up with it, I went to see the patients, because I went to see the patients. Okay, then you come back and you realize, okay, this is what I do it for. Okay, I put up with all the stuff that comes down from the administration and all the paperwork and all the stuff. You know what? Because I get to be with my patients. Okay, and so this is the key. This is what we should always strive to do. Okay, you can do it everywhere in medicine. Some of you are going to be doctors, some of you are going to be PAs, some will be MPs, some will be in other parts of medicine. Okay. But in all aspects of medicine, okay, there's that opportunity to reach out and be with the patient and learn from them and create a bond, okay? Because not only is it going to be good for them, it's for you as well, right? Because that's what gives value to what we do in that, okay? And there's a quote I love to quote, and this is from Francis Peabody. He gave us an entering class in medical school, okay? And he said that, okay, the secret to caring for patients, to the care of patients is caring for patients, right? So to care gives you value for you and for them, okay? Break down the barriers, okay? Some people say, oh no, you can't treat people like family, okay? That's bullshit. Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize, okay? You know what? They are somebody's family, right? And you treat them like your family, okay? You know what? And in turn, they'll treat you like family, okay? I have the world's largest family because I have all these people. I get, Christmas cards, I get wedding announcements, birthday announcements, and it's a wonderful, wonderful career, okay? And I go back and I look at myself. I just had to recently move out of my office because of the remodel and stuff like that, okay? What did I take with me, okay? I left the plaques. Well, I lost a couple of the plaques, but I left everything else behind. What I brought with me was all the thank you cards and all the pictures from my patients. And those of you who've been in my clinic, Haley's been there, you see that there's a bulletin board behind me in my office. Unfortunately, not down here. I'm down at Hug right now with all my pictures, all my patients, okay, and their families, their children and stuff. And this is what makes medicine rewarding, okay? And I welcome you guys to this profession, okay? And it's a wonderful place to be, and I hopefully you guys are all looking forward to being a part of that. So with that, I conclude, and thank you very much again, Stephen, Valerie, Haley, all the people who've worked with me before. You've made my life. It makes it easier for me to establish a bond with my patients because I don't have to pay attention to the chart. I can just talk to people, and it's a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Liang, for your inspiring message, for reminding us what it's all about at the end of the day, caring for people. And I can't think of a more relevant message to say goodbye to our graduating class and then also to welcome our new class of COMET Fellows. Please join me in temporarily taking yourself off mute to give Dr. Liang a round of applause for his address. Thank you so much.
Okay, yes, thank you, Dr. Lang, for that insightful speech. We are more than appreciative for your mentorship and wisdom, and you are a valuable member of the COMET community. And thank you, Dr. Tang and Dr. Lin, for all you do for COMET. We'd now like to take a time to review this past year and all that COMET has accomplished.
So a few years ago, COMET started with just 2 scribes in family medicine. Now, at the beginning of this year, we had over 47 scribes working with 53 providers in 17 different clinics. Then, over the year, despite the difficulties of the COVID-19 pandemic, our program was still able to expand, initiating pilots with 14 providers in 7 clinics, bringing our total to 61 providers in 24 different clinics. And as Dr. Lin mentioned at the beginning of the ceremony, we're finding new partners across the nation to work with. COMET's growing at an exponential pace, and we're incredibly excited to see just how expansive the program will become in the future.
Also, in this past year, our scribes have taken on numerous research projects within their clinics. Several fellows advanced scholarly projects to oral and poster presentations at national conferences. We had 13 fellows accepted to present their projects either at the STFM Annual Spring Conference or the STFM Conference for Quality Improvement this fall. We also had representation at 2 new conferences never before attended by COMET fellows, which was the Indo 2021 and the Single Ventricle Investigator Meeting. More proof to COMET's rapid expansion, and our presence at these conferences do not go unnoticed. One of our fellows was even featured in the Endocrine News magazine this past June 2021 on their experience at Indo 2021.
Not only that, but some of our fellows went on to publish in the past year, and many more are hopeful to reach this milestone in the near future. Clearly, our fellows' accomplishments are expansive and impressive. Our fellows have put in incredible work to advance healthcare and improve quality of care in clinics in which they scribe.
Yes, definitely a very impressive year for this fellowship. COMET provides unparalleled clinical and research experience, but also rich connections between our scribes. After all, these connections are why we are a fellowship and not just an internship. But don't take our word for it. At this time, we now have a few fellows who would like to reflect upon the year and talk about their experience in COMET. We have 1 fellow from each of our cohorts. And to start us off, representing our primary care cohort, let's hear from May Keck. May, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone. Hold on, sorry. We're having a little technical difficulties here. Okay, so like Bryson mentioned, thank you for the intro. I'm in the primary care setting. So as I grew up, I never actually had a primary care family medicine doctorate in my life. I was either just switching around from different providers, different clinics, or different insurances. And I never understood what family medicine actually was. And this year, I learned that the pillars of family medicine include long-term relationships, trust, and community. People live in families and communities, and to say an illness only affects one person would be a mistake. Parents, children, cousins, and other family members usually attend visits not only to provide comfort for the patient, but also out of concern. Also, not to be biased, but the family medicine cohort was the best. Unlike the specialty clinic cohort, where most people are in different specialties, we were all in the primary care setting. Our monthly meetings did not require an intro about what high blood pressure was because we all knew what it was. When someone presented on a case study, others were able to see glimpses of the illness while scribing or able to see it directly. As a cohort and community, we all cheered for each other when someone was taking the MCAT or celebrated when someone was getting into school. We also all bonded over teasing AJ for everything and everything. But I should mention that AJ was also a great leader and gave me space to breathe during difficult times. And he also encouraged me to follow my passion for LGBTQ health and allowed me to subject my cohort to over the allotted time talks about health disparities in the community. I do also want to shout out to Dr. Schumer and Dr. Marioka Douglas for guiding me this past year. While working as a research assistant, I was also able to be in regular contact with other providers in the clinic. And I know while I love my own physicians I scribe for, the providers in family medicine as a whole are strong examples of the excellence that comes from the community and clinic. I appreciate my time with COMET and my time with family medicine. I will begin medical school next month, and I'm confident that I can continue with the long-term friendships, trust, and community that I built here. Thank you all for putting the family in family medicine.
Thank you so much, May. That was wonderful. And now, next up, representing Stanford Specialty Clinics, we have Randy Lin.
I am so sorry about that. Hope everyone could hear me. Thank you, May, for for sharing your thoughts. Hello, everyone. I'm Randy. I scribe in family medicine and infectious diseases. Let me start by congratulating all the graduates after the whirlwind and stress of this past fellowship year, starting out first in telehealth, then in the clinic. I am very happy that everyone's here today in good health to celebrate this very special day. I'm humbled by the opportunity to reflect on this fellowship year on behalf of the specialty cohort. Let's go specialty. And thank you, Jacob, for being an amazing chief scribe supporting us along the way. And thank you to all my fellow scribes for sharing this wild year with me. Hearing all about the impressive projects that you are all involved in motivates me to keep exploring and keep achieving. So I think I am overall very impressed by everyone's growth and ability to adapt, given that many of us are scribing for the very first time. So during our special monthly cohort meetings, it was beautiful to see my fellow specialty scribes share about all that they learned, whether in cardiology, dermatology, endocrinology, gastroenterology, or radiation oncology. We bonded over very interesting topics, such as treatment for gender dysphoria, making sense of arterial switch surgery, amputations, secondary to diabetes management, or taking peppermint Altoids for achalasia patients. And I feel like I'm always learning something new during our monthly meetings, in addition to the constant learning that's always happening in the clinic when we scribe. Being able to share and consolidate nuances in the clinic and charting style of our respective specialties, I think really helps us all appreciate the diversity and the scribe experience. I especially love the many fruitful discussions requiring details and contributions from experts that are the specialty scribes that demonstrate the interconnectedness and the complexity of diseases, which can be better understood with knowledge from the combination of the different specialties. I am thankful for the variety of lessons that we all learned collectively through one another, whether directly applicable to scribing or not. So my memory of sharing this journey with everyone in this cohort is irreplaceable. So thank you all so much. And without taking any more time away, thank you so much to the COMET leadership and all faculty members involved that make this opportunity possible for all of us. I'm forever grateful to COMET for this entire learning experience, the mentorship received, and the new opportunities that lie ahead. And so I hope to catch up with everyone at some point down the road. All the best to everyone on their journey, including all the incoming scribes. Don't forget to smile and stay happy.
Thank you so much, Randy. That was amazing. And finally, representing Stanford Satellite Clinics, we have Trevor Larson here to speak.
Right, thank you for that intro. Hi, everybody. What an absolute year it's been. I think that might be an absolute understatement, but I really don't think that I could overstate how unique and intense the past year has been, or the changes that it's created in all of our lives. In light of this last year, I find myself overwhelmingly grateful for the learning opportunities, support, and community that the fellowship provided. So I want to take this time to recognize some individuals, just give thanks for the past year. So a big thank you to all of the COMET leadership, the chief scribes, in particular, my chief, Marcia, all of the providers that I was able to work with this year, Drs. Fautre, Franklin, Schillinger, Vaughn, and Barman. In particular, I want to recognize Dr. Barman and everyone else who worked with the Crown Clinic. The Crown Clinic was essentially a pop-up clinic this past year that was able to provide ongoing support as well as outpatient services for COVID patients, which was a phenomenal service and I think an extremely important gap to fill. And so thank you for all of your work in that regard. And to all of my providers, as well as all of the other providers that COMET worked with this year, I'm certain that I speak for the rest of my cohort when I say that it was a pleasure and an absolute honor to work with you all. To my fellow fellows, it's been a joy getting to know you all virtually, as well as in the limited time that we've had together in person. This past year was one of adaptation. And so I'm very excited to see how you all adapt and rise to your next challenges. And last but certainly not least, I wanted to say thank you to my parents, as well as to the other families and friends that are here today. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us, as well as for all of your love and support. You are truly the giant shoulders upon which we all stand. Thank you to everyone. What a year it's been. And yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak.
Well,
Looks like, yes, go ahead, Louise.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Bryson might have got disconnected, but again, thank you, Trevor, May, and Randy for speaking about your experiences this year. And now we'll go ahead and have Jacob present the 2021 COMET Mentors of the Year.
Hello, everyone. As has been said, COMET is very different from other medical scribe jobs or programs, and we're very proud of that. During the creation of COMET, Dr. Stephen Lin especially and specifically named the program a fellowship to emphasize collaboration and networking of like-minded pre-health students and unparalleled mentorship between provider-scribe pairs. Our mentors are the very core of our program, and we appreciate every single one of them for making COMET possible. Today, I have the honor of highlighting a few of our incredible mentors and COMET faculty for their outstanding and devoted teachings, guidance, and learnings provided to the scribes in their clinics and outside of the clinic rooms. Every year, this is an especially difficult discussion on who to highlight, and this year was no different. The following mentors have truly gone the extra mile to support their scribes in teaching them about scribing, research, and professional development, and they've went above and beyond our expectations for them. First, our primary care mentor of the year is Dr. Kenny from Stanford Internal Medicine. With us today, we have one of Dr. Kenny's mentees and scribes, Priyanka, to talk a little bit about her experience with Dr. Kenny.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here today with everyone, with all the mentors and my fellow scribes, and also my family who's there supporting me. And it has been such a great year scribing for Dr. Kenny, and she supported me through scribing, learning more about patient care, and I really enjoyed all the discussions I had with her regarding how to develop a really good relationships with the patient and how to conduct a primary care interview. And at the same time, in addition to scribing, she also provided me so much support through my residency application. And so she always reviewed the CV, personal statement on the go. She edited it over and over so many times. And as the dates got closer for the submission, she used to text me, making sure that I made all the changes she suggested. And she even took the time out of her schedule to conduct some mock interviews so that I feel confident before going to the interview. So I would like to thank her for believing in my capabilities and helping me get through this. You know, it was such a great thing to have someone you look up to, and that person is actually rooting for your success. So that helped me build my confidence and do my interviews. So hopefully, I mean, this is going to help me in my further journey, and I will be applying this year again. And yeah, and this has been such a great learning in the entire year. It was so much more than what I knew or what I was expecting in the COMET fellowship year. So thank you to the entire team and my mentors also. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Priyanka, for your kind words. Up next, we would like to honor one of our specialty mentors. The specialty mentor of the year is Dr. Albert Chu from dermatology. Dr. Chu's scribe Bradley is here to share a few words about him.
Yes, thank you, Jacob. So Dr. Chu, he's been an absolutely amazing provider and mentor to me throughout this fellowship year. I would like to just highlight some of the many things that he has done for me. He helped strengthen my medical scribing skills and always encouraged me to apply material I learned from the dermatology textbook, so to specific patient cases seen in clinic. He made sure to review the medical notes with me whenever he had time in between patients. He would also give me immediate feedback on certain parts of my notes in order to better improve the flow and structure. But through Dr. Chu, I was able to join multiple dermatology-related clinical research projects and build my knowledge in clinical dermatology and clinical procedures. And through those experiences, I have been able to meet so many other wonderful clinical research assistants and coordinators who also helped enrich my fellowship experience. Dr. Chu gave me an incredible amount of opportunities to observe procedures, including biopsies and excisions, which gave me further insight into how comprehensive and versatile dermatologists are. He always came into clinic with an incredible friendliness that made me feel so comfortable and welcomed in the clinic. And he applied the same wonderful personality when interacting with all of his patients. That interaction in of itself is something I hope to achieve one day when I start working with my own patients. Dr. Chu also helped connect me with both pre-med and current medical students to help me navigate through the medical school application process and gave me tips on how to become a stronger pre-med applicant. All in all, he has been a close mentor to me, and I will continue applying what I've learned from him to my future experiences in medical school and beyond. Thank you so much, Dr. Chu.
Thank you so much, Bradley. We really appreciate your words. All right. Our next mentor we would like to highlight is from our satellite cohort. The satellite mentor of the year is Dr. Joseph Hanna from Palliative Care. Dr. Hanna's scribe Catalina is here to say a few words about him.
So I would like to thank Dr. Hanna so much for helping me in this past year. He has taught me so much in a field where we have to guide patients and their loved ones through difficult times and to say goodbye. He was more than happy to answer my questions about patients at the end of the visit. And even though I haven't seen him in person through this entire year, I have learned so much about what is a good bedside manners, the impact compassion has on the patients, and patient advocacy. And he went above and beyond when he helped me with my medical school applications by editing and reading over my primary essays and writing my letter of rec. And he's definitely a doctor I aspire to be myself.
Thank you, Catalina. And now finally, starting this year, we would like to designate a COMET Mentor of the Year representing our program for unparalleled and outstanding mentorship. The recipient of this award is someone very near to me, and I'm proud and humbled to call her a personal and professional mentor, as well as someone I'm grateful to have learned from, worked with in clinic, and presented on research projects together. The COMET 2021 Mentor of the Year Award recipient is Dr. Marina Bassina. Dr. Marina Bassina has been with the program for 3 years now and is a clinical professor of medicine at the Stanford faculty in the Division of Endocrinology. Congratulations, Dr. Bassina. Thank you so much for all you do. And one of her current scribes, Sabrina, would like to share a few reasons on why Dr. Bassina is COMET's Mentor of the Year.
Hi, everyone. Yes, Dr. Bassina, best mentor ever. Just kidding. Shout out to all the mentors, to every cohort. Thank you for everything that you've done this year to make this program what it was. But just a little bit about Dr. Bassina. She's been such an amazing mentor. Words can't explain, as Jacob said. Anyone who's crossed paths with her, she's just so amazing. There's just been so much to learn from her, and she's been such an inspiration throughout this year. From the beginning, I know, as other endoscribes can probably relate, I was nervous about not knowing everything there was to know about endocrinology related conditions. And so if I can recall correctly, Dr. Bassina shared some details about her schedule and how she wakes up really early, spends pretty much all day in clinic, even into the late evenings. As many of our physician mentors could possibly relate, they have a longer day. And so Dr. Bassina, being the amazing mentor she is, not only included us into her presentation and talks with other residents, fellows, and physicians, but she also took time from her really busy schedule to spend time with us endoscribes. And so Dr. Bessina dedicated time every week this year to give us a chance to learn more about complex cases in clinic, or if there were any patient cases that we were confused about, sharing with us from labs to imaging, and to explain, why the assessment and plan made perfect sense for a specific patient. She went above and beyond to ensure us fellows learned the most from this program, and shared her own experiences to going into detail about specific cases or conditions she had most experience with in clinic. So that time that Dr. Bessina dedicated to us really helped me and my fellow peers to fully engage in and apply that knowledge, not only in the clinic, but while scribing in our research projects and outside of this program in classes that I took. Furthermore, I had the opportunity to work on a research project this year with Dr. Bessina and Jamie. Shout out to Jamie, best partner in crime. There were times where Dr. Bessina really challenged us to think outside the box, above and beyond, from a research perspective and in a clinical perspective. So going back to her busy schedule, Dr. Bessina once stayed up with me and Jamie into the early hours of the morning, knowing that she'd have to get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning to start her day, to make sure that we had the perfect abstract for our submission to Endo 2021. And that for me was just Dr. Bessina doing her best as always to make sure we have the best experience this year. And so on that note, Dr. Bessina has been the most kind, generous, and a big inspiration for me, and I'm sure others this year in the endocrinology specialty. I've learned so much and I've grown so much from this program, and I would just not be the same. I just know that it wouldn't have been the same without Dr. Bessina. So thank you for always going above and beyond to ensure we had the amazing learning experience we did. So thank you, Dr. Bessina.
Thank you, Sabrina, and congratulations to all these wonderful mentors. We truly appreciate all that you do for us, your patients, and your clinics. And now we would like to transition to Kathina, COMET's Assistant Director, who will now present some scribe superlatives for our graduating class.
Hello, everyone. I have the pleasure of presenting the superlatives of the class of 2021. Most involved in the fellowship goes to Bryson Gomez. Most likely to trip following their mentor goes to Akansha Varma, who is always late to clinic. Haley Yu, who is always early to clinic. Sai Priyanka Kodam, drinks the most caffeine. Jamie Coma. And lastly, fastest typer of Scribe 2021. May Keck.
Okay, so thank you, Kathina, and congratulations to the recipients of those superlatives. We will now move on to the moment you've all been waiting for, the diploma ceremony. I will start off with our primary care scribes presented by their chief scribe, AJ.
Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to get us started with the diploma ceremony. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you so much to the leadership team, but most especially to all of my scribes in the primary care cohort. They made this year the absolute best as a chief scribe. I feel like we were able to become really close. And like May said earlier in her testimonial, I feel like we really became a family. And I loved every Zoom call I had with every one of you. And I'm really excited to say your names today for this diploma and hopefully see you again soon in person. Okay, so we can go on to the first graduating scribe. Paulina Lomba. And we will keep the page up for just a second so you guys can read their quotes right beneath their pictures. But yes, go Paulina, congratulations. Cannot wait to see you again in person soon. Our next graduating scribe, Sai Priyanka Kadam. Go Priyanka.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next graduating scribe, Catalina B. Sun. I love the chat function. It's going crazy. Congratulations, Catalina. And our next graduating scribe, Mei Lee Keck. And thank you so much for doing the testimonial today. We loved hearing your voice and hearing your kind words. And our next graduating scribe, Randy Chow Non. Go Randy. And our next graduating scribe, Aline Vilaipet Tiang Money. Chat's going crazy. I love it. And our next graduating scribe, Agnes Womboy Kaguri. Our next graduating scribe, Bryson Gomez. And our next graduating scribe is Carolina Chong Liao. Congratulations, Carolina. And our next graduating scribe, Elise Gonzalez. And that concludes the primary care cohort. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to talk to you all one-on-one and see you all again soon.
Thanks, AJ, and congrats once again to all the primary care scribes. So we'll move on to the specialty clinic scribes presented by our chief scribe, Jacob.
Hello again, everyone. Yes, I have the honor of announcing the graduates from the specialty cohort. First off, I would like to say thank you so much to the leadership team for being the best to work with through this unparalleled year of going virtual, hybrid, and transitioning back to in-person wherever possible. Thank you so much to my amazing scribes and cohort. You all made every one-on-one, every meeting, every discussion extremely pleasurable and exciting to the very end. As Randy said, I think the best part was those monthly meetings where it felt like I was listening to a bunch of medical experts talking or theorizing what we thought and what we believed in, our providers were doing. So thank you all for making this year the best, and congratulations. Good luck on all your future endeavors. Starting with the first graduate, we have Sanjana Rajasakaran. Congratulations. All right, and our next graduate we have is Sabrina Sanga. Congrats, Sabrina. Next up, we have Randy Lynn. Congrats, Randy. Our next graduate is Jamie Kalma. Congrats, Jamie. Up next, we have Rashna Sarasbude. Congrats, Rashna. Next graduate is Phoebe Zhang. Congratulations, Phoebe. Up next, we have Bradley Fong. Congrats, Bradley, and good luck as Chief Scribe of Specialty next year. Our next graduate is Haley Yu. Congratulations, Haley. Next graduate in specialty is Kevin Liu. Congrats, Kevin. Our next specialty graduate is Akansha Varma. Congratulations, Akansha. And finally, last but not least in the specialty cohort, we have David Wu. Congratulations, David, and to all the scribes. May you succeed in all your future endeavors. And as everyone said, I hope we can have more in-person opportunities, and thank you all for an amazing year.
Thanks, Jacob, for that. And congrats once again to all of our specialty scribes. And last but not least, we have our satellite clinic scribes presented by their chief scribe, Marcia.
Hi, everyone. I'm really glad that we saved the best cohort for last here. But in all seriousness, it was my pleasure and an incredible privilege to be working with the satellite cohort. And I just can't imagine getting any luckier to have a cohort that's able to appreciate and understand my antics this year. But to get us started, our first graduating scribe is Joseph Alexander Yeb. Congratulations, Joseph. And next up, we have Miranda Shum. Next up, we have Emil Wanta. Yes, loving the support in the group chat here. Our next graduating fellow is Bella Anderson Eni. Congratulations, Bella. Next up, we have Bianca Bruzoni. Following her, we have Isabel Ellie Hickey. Yes, congratulations, Ellie. Following that, we have Trevor Larson. Next up, we have Anna Cabot. Next, we have Marlene Alvaran. Yes. And last, but certainly not least, we have Myra Lizette Reyes, who will also be taking over as one of the chiefs for this coming year. So that ends this satellite cohort. And again, thank you for being the best cohort that I could have ever worked with. I know you guys were all rock stars in your respective clinics, and I can't wait to see you guys in your future endeavors.
Hi, everyone. First off, I would like to say thank you to our amazing chief scribes for organizing such a great event to highlight our scribes' hard work. Additionally, I want to thank the faculty providers for being wonderful mentors for our scribes. We are appreciative of all you do because you are the glue that keeps this program together. So thank you so much for your ongoing support. And to the COMET class of 2021, I want to conclude the ceremony by saying a few words. On behalf of the leadership team and the entire COMET community, I want to congratulate everyone for reaching this momentous milestone. It wasn't easy, but you all made it, and we are so proud of you. And I'm honored to be able to celebrate with you all. But before I go further, I want to remind each of you to please take a moment to reflect on what you have achieved during this fellowship year, and think about the people who've always been there with you every step of the way. That's your spouse, your significant other, a family member, a friend, a mentor, or even your pets. So after the ceremony, please let them know how much you appreciate them. We all know that this past year has been challenging, complicated, and dare I say it, unprecedented. Nevertheless, I'm confident that the challenges of the past year did not overshadow the positive experience and beautiful memories you have created during your time with us. For many, graduation usually marks the conclusion of a long academic journey. For others, it's a beginning of a new chapters in one's life. As COMET graduates, you're now officially part of our large alumni network. Please stay connected through the network so that we are aware of the many life achievements I'm confident you'll accomplish. And of course, remember, you're always part of the COMET family, and we will always be here for you, rooting for your success. So as you move forward, remember that whatever goals you set out to achieve, never let the obstacles, the naysayers, and life's little disappointments get in your way, because not even a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic stood a chance to your determination, resourcefulness, and hard work in this achievement. And if there's a silver lining to this past 16 months, is that we all have been reminded how strong, resilient, and adaptable we all are. And you, fellow COMET class of 2021, are evidence of those qualities. So with that said, congratulations and best of luck to you all, the graduating class of 2021. Thank you.
All right, I believe that concludes our ceremony for the COMET graduating class of 2021. Thank you all so much for joining us. And we will be recording this presentation and posting it to our YouTube for anyone to go back or to rewatch if they would like to.